Tech Guy. How are y'all this evening? If you're watching this part, you're probably here on the replay. Make sure you give me a hashtag replay and let me know where you're from. All right, come on in. I'm going to find myself here on my laptop. So I can pull up comments. There we are. So I can pull up comment. All right, now let's see if my. I think let's do it this way. As you come on, say hello so that I know that you're here. I'll move this camera around a little bit. Oh, goodness, I don't want that. If you're watching on YouTube or on my personal Facebook page, make sure you come over to my business Facebook page, facebook.com/thecraftytechguy. That is where I can see all the comments from. I'm going to check here on my phone. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Hey, Beth, welcome. Oh. There we go. Blow these up a little bit. These comments up. There we go. Hey, Betty, good evening. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So tonight we're going to be making a Mardi Gras wreath. So we're finally crafting again, y'all. After all this time of y'all being patient with me and getting the tech business off the ground, we're finally crafting. And we're doing Mardi Gras because what a fun, festive occasion. Celebrated all over the world, but mainly down in New Orleans, in Louisiana. So we've got some really fun stuff to play with tonight for our wreath. So some of this I showed y'all last night. We're going to be using this 21-inch. Hey, Bonnie. We're going to be using this beautiful 21-inch Mardi Gras mesh. So we've got that. We're going to be doing some poofs with that. So I like to take the UPC code and tuck it away inside the core or the center tube so that when I run out of this mesh, I can just look at that UPC code and I know where I got it from. Do y'all notice my workspace is all cleaner? So I did more cleaning up today. So we're going to do poofs in this 21-inch mesh. And then we're going to do some ruffles in this purple and gold tinsel mesh. And again, I'm just going to tear this off. fold it up, stick it there in the tube, throw that away. We're going to have fun with a little tubing tonight. Y'all haven't, I think y'all seen me use this maybe once. But yeah, we're going to have some fun with tubing. Not sure what I just did. I'm going to move this. Do I need to move it out? Yeah, there we go. Oh. Okay. Hey, Aleeks. We're making Mardi Gras tonight. All right. There, that's a little bit better. We all can see all the things. I got the picture-in-picture working tonight. We've got Ethernet going to both cameras. Darren and I have been busy. We've got some fun pics we're going to play with tonight. That pic decided to roll off of there. Let's find where it went in. There it is. There we go. Throw that away. We've got this really cool mask that we're going to be playing with. So that's going to go on there. And then this fun wreath form. So the wreath form. And then here is my selection of ribbons. I'm playing with some 50-yard ribbon for the first time tonight. So is that 50? That was 25. But I bought a whole case of like 24 different colors of this burlap solid color ribbon, 1.5 inch from Deco. So we're going to play with that tonight. But first things first, so any of the supplies that you see tonight, if you're like, oh, I want that, go to shoplikejohn.com, shoplikejohn.com, and these either came from Deco Exchange, White Bayou, or Trendy Tree. So, all right, we need to do some repair work. Some of the tips on this wreath form, these little ball tips, fell off. So I need to do some hot gluing and some repair work. So I found, they were just in the box. So I'm going to put a little hot glue on the tip. Then I'm just going to stick that right back on. Supposedly. There we go. All right, there's that one fixed. So sometimes, isn't this wreath frame awesome? It came from White Bayou. It just looked like so much fun. And this is a 15 to 24 inch elevated work wreath form. So if you've never worked with one of these, they are a lot of fun to work with because it gives your wreath more dimension in terms of a bottom and lower versus using just a regular 14 inch work form like from Dollar Tree. I use both. I tend to use the 14 inch wired wreath forms for pancake style wreaths. And then for all my other wreaths, I use the 24-inch elevated work form. Hey, Stacy. Stacy, I have not forgotten about getting you signs. I actually have. So I'll show you what you're getting. You're getting, I printed them off. I even have, is it on here? I made a Happy Canada sign for you. So these will be coming your way soon. So they're going to be all occasions. So we're just repairing this wreath frame. There were 4 that fell off this one. And then there were 4 in the box. So I guess so knowing that these popped off, I think I'm gonna come back and just hit these others with a dab of glue, just because now I'm a little nervous. I don't want this to end up on someone's door. And or the balls to come off in shipping. So sometimes fun requires a little extra work. But that's all right. Have any of y'all ever worked with a wreath form like this? Of course, you may be thinking right now, I don't think I ever will. If you need a really good glue gun, this is from Deco. It's $25, but it is a super awesome glue gun. You can adjust the temperature for the different types of glues. So like Gorilla Glue versus the industrial glue sticks that Damon sells. I use Gorilla Glue sticks. I have not perfected my craft enough to be using industrial glue sticks. So I got some stuff out. So once we finish the wreath, for those of you that stick around, I dug out some boxes. So if y'all have been with me for a while, you know that I used to do other crafts. And so I have boxes of that stuff that never sold. So I thought y'all might be interested in seeing other stuff that I used to make. So just real quick, if you're watching me on YouTube or watching me on my personal Facebook page, come over here to my business page, facebook.com/thecraftytechguy. That is where I am responding to comments. I can't see the comments going live this way on the other platforms, but I can stream to them. So I used to do like silk screening type stuff, vinyl type stuff, t-shirts, earrings, leather earrings. And I used to have booths. I had booths in 2019, 2020, and 2021. And in 2021, I basically just, half of 2020 and most of 2021, I pretty much just paid rent or donated my rent. So at the end of last year, I got out of all my booths. I had booths and glass showcases. I need one more ball. Let's see, where's that box at? Oh, I think the wooden earrings will probably sell a lot better than the leather earrings. All right, so while that is setting up, let's work on this mask. So I'm going to use cable mounts on this mask. I think I'm going to need 3. And so we're going to use a little super glue. We're going to use hot glue. I think I'm going to take these straps off. Or maybe, well, I don't know, maybe I'll try to use the straps too. So I'm going to come in here to the underside of this mask and find 3 points. And I want to go ahead and do this so that the mask can set up while we're making the wreath. Yeah, it has, Betty. December has not been a good month for a lot of us. But then December's been an awesome month for others. So my theory on it is if you've, been in business for a while, so now y'all, I'm just going around and putting a bead of glue, hot glue, all the way around this cable tie. I feel like if you've been in business for long enough to build an audience, like a substantial audience, then you were probably fine. And if you had built an audience, that were used to paying, $150 and more for your products, let's say, you're probably fine, because people who already have money are still going to continue to spend. If your products are on the lower end and you don't have an audience, you're struggling to make sales, probably. So I don't sell high-end expensive products, and I don't have a big audience yet. So, because if you look at just numbers in general, Black Friday sales were all-time high. Cyber Monday sales, all-time high. People are spending. Now, you know, they may not be buying the things that we wish they were buying, like our products, but they are buying. GDP, I mean, the economy grew in the third quarter, where it shrank the first 2 quarters, so it grew in the third quarter. So I know there's a lot of talk about, are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Spending says no, but now spending could be also based upon supply being low. So there's a lot of things that factor into that. I think where people are kind of pushing the brakes a little bit is at the grocery store. I mean, that part's a little crazy. I don't do much of the grocery shopping anymore. Darren does most of the grocery shopping. And it's probably good because I would just continue to buy the stuff that I know that we like. But he comes home and he's like, so-and-so was $7. I didn't buy any. And I'm like, part of me is like, but I really want it. But he's right. We don't need to be paying, $7 for a pack of cheese. We just won't have cheese, or we'll have cheese twice this month instead of having cheese every single week. You just got to make different choices. Yes, ground beef instead of steak. This one's a little loosey-goosey, so I'm going to bend it back up. It would be really nice if I had my pliers right now, but I discovered earlier today that somebody in this household, and not me, took my pliers from my workstation and did not bring them back. And I forgot to tell him to bring them back. So anytime you have a tine on here that's loose, a lot of times you can just take your pliers and y'all are going to hear my dogs. Darren just left to go pick up some stuff. So that is my pups who are upset right now that no one's upstairs with them. Oh my gosh. And they're too chicken to do the stairs and come down here. So their life is currently over as they know it. The poor things. Oh. To go to my phone. I didn't see your comment. Your online sales went way better than local. My local sales was repeat customers. I don't have local. Well, I've had one local customer. Well, I guess I've had a local customer that's bought from me twice. Y'all, there's my mother-in-law. Yes, my mother-in-law is notorious for stealing tweezers, y'all. I buy groceries in bulk. Luckily for me, a family of 5, purchases haven't changed much, but because of the way I meal plan, I can turn one meal into 3 different meals. Oh, that's good. We've got to get better at meal planning and just plain cooking. We've gotten so out of practice. All right, y'all, let's make some poofs. So this is a 21-inch mesh. And we're going to make 12-inch poofs. So I'm just going to gather this mesh here at the end. Scrunch it up. I'm going to need some zip ties. 4. Hey, Margaret. Where are you right now, friend? I hope you're not driving. You driving and being on lives makes me nervous. All right, so we're going to gather. I gathered that up wrong. All right, so we're just going to find a spot on the top row where we've got a top tine right above and across from the bottom tine. And that's where we're going to start. We're going to put the mesh in, push it all the way down to the ring. Tight, tight, tight. Twist, twist, twist. Now I'm going to come over here, and I like to zip tie this part of the mesh on the left side of the tine to the wreath form. Just make sure that as I'm doing my poofs around, that this poof doesn't pull out. Just loaded up horses and headed back to Texas. Whew. I mean, Margaret, I know you and I talked about the fact that, and I said I love to drive. I mean, I do enjoy driving. But you take enjoying driving to a whole new level. So y'all, what I will do is I'll take this part of, or this tine, and I'm going to line this tine up with the 10 on my mat. And then I'm just going to pull across over to 22, and that's my 12-inch poof. And I'm just going to raise it, put it here between these two tines, push it all the way down tight, twist, twist, twist. All right, and there is our first 12-inch poof. All right. Again, at the 10 and 22, gather it up. Oh, I bet you are ready to be done. I bet you've made that drive 25 times or more. All right, 10. And once I get all of my poofs on, I'll come back around and hey, Peggy. And straighten out my poofs, make them look bigger. Yes, there are some crazy snowstorms coming. All right, so another 12 inches. Did everybody have a good weekend? Anybody do anything fun? Go to any fun parties? I'm going to have to get out and leave the house in the morning and go do some shopping. Peggy, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. So we have a little bit of a Mardi Gras following here, being tied to King Louis. There's a pretty good Catholic population here. A lot of Catholic schools. Peggy, where are you at? Hi, Julie. You almost slipped by me there. Heard Larry sneeze. Oh, South Alabama. Well, I'm a Mississippi boy at heart. That's where I was born and raised. Pearl, Mississippi. So now we're going to come back and end at that first tie that we were at. Push down tight, because we want to make sure we have enough tying for the ribbons and all the other things. Now we're going to change direction and move this down and come in here to these bottom tines. Tie this in. And then I'm going to zip tie this bottom one in. Citronelle, 30 miles north of Pearl is 30 minutes from you, Betty? Oh my gosh, where are you at, Betty? Oh, hey, Cheryl. Be safe. All right, y'all, so I'm going to come down here and zip tie this bottom piece in. I thought I had some needle nose pliers over here too. Oh, Hebron, okay. Yep, I'm from Pearl. I have family in Pearl and Jackson and Brandon and Florence and Madison, Flowood, Carthage, Pelahatchie, all over Mississippi. All right, if you're just joining us, we're making a Mardi Gras wreath. I am doing 12-inch poofs using 21-inch mesh. If you're looking for wreath supplies, you can go to shoplikejohn.com and check out all of my affiliate links for where I do all of my shopping. You were in Brandon this weekend. Awesome. I actually went to Brandon halfway through first grade, Brandon Elementary, before we moved to, or no, I started at Pearl, and then we moved to Brandon, and then we moved back to Pearl. So y'all, Barbara is my mother-in-law. She was just here with us. She was in town for a wedding. Her and Darren went to my cousin's wedding Friday. Please be safe, as Margaret was live from her car driving while on a call with us earlier. I'm like, oh Lord, she's going to drop that phone and have a wreck. So now that we've got a lot of this basement organized and I've got my crafting space cleared off, I've told y'all that a lot of my block on crafting was that my space was all disheveled and didn't make me happy and blocked my creativity. And now that it's back, well, getting better, we still have a lot of work to do. I'll feel more creative minded to go live more. I think we're going to have someone come out. Well, Darren told me to check into it, and we'll just see how much it's going to cost. But there's a section of my basement where my heat press is that we've talked about having refinished, or not refinished, built out. And like I would have countertops in there and cabinets and a big sink so that I could go back to doing the silk screening that I enjoy doing. I do that through a company called Chalkateur. And then there's also another one called Magnolia that also sells the transfers. And it's fun. I love all their surfaces, and Chalkateur is a direct sales company, but I never did the direct sales part of it. I just bought their products for making finished goods. I had enough team building and all that selling Tupperware for 18 years. I was not interested in doing all that mess again. All right, so we're back at the beginning. Just finishing up this part. All right, I'm going to cut this end off. All right. Drop that down over there. And then now this end, same thing. I'm going to stick it here and point it in towards the center of the wreath. And I'm going to zip tie it down. Cut that off. And then what I like to do, now that it's zip tied, I'm going to flip this over, and the places where I have zip tied these ends, I'm going to come over here and cut these ends off to where they look nicer. I just like all of this to be buttoned up and look nice. These ends. I will, Bonnie, once we get that room finished and I have a sink. So where did I put that? So like I want to get back into doing like this kind of painting. So this is a pumpkin that I did. I have some Santa Clauses somewhere, but I couldn't find them. So I enjoy painting on canvas as well. But you know, all that takes water. The silk screening takes water, and since my medical issues that I had earlier this year, I have a hard time going up and down these stairs. So going up and down the stairs, changing out the water constantly is just not something I can do right now. So I'm going to come back into all these poofs, and I'm just opening them up because I like for my poofs to be nice and full. When you initially put them in, they're a little flat to me. So I come back and stretch them out. It gives you even a thicker base, and it's just something that I do. I've never seen anybody else do that, but I want to get the fullness of all of these beautiful poofs. And it kind of helps the mesh peek through all the other stuff so that people actually see this beautiful mesh. I mean, because when, 21-inch mesh is $20-something a roll, I want them to see it and enjoy it. I poof my poofs. My wreaths are higher the poof, closer to Jesus. Hi, Laurie. I know. Except now I'm finally getting back into crafting and making wreaths. And tonight's not a crap show like last night was. And I went and created a private group last night to do my test lives in because I thought I'm probably driving everybody crazy every 10 minutes going live. So I was like, oh, I could just create a fake private group to just throw these lives into. Right? Like I want the whole thing to kind of look like a gesture hat. But see like how much fuller this side of the wreath is? Because I went back and worked these poofs versus this side of the wreath, which is still kind of flat from just putting in, initially installing the poofs. I just think it makes a huge difference. And if it doesn't make a huge difference, don't tell me. Because in my mind it does. Because this process, definitely roughs up your hands. And like right now, I've got a hangnail over here. And it is catching on every bit of this mesh. Okay, pretty. All right, so let's make some. All right, so we've got 18. So I know I can do these at 20 inches. I'm just going to cut this off and make it a little bit straighter. I need to move this garbage can back over. I was used to it being over here. And I moved it. And now I keep coming back over here to get it and it's not there. All right. So over here on my mat, I'm going to go 35 inches to 15 inches. I don't have to count them because I'm going to use the whole roll. Because you want to try to maximize the materials that you're using. So if any of y'all been watching the little tech how-to videos that I've been posting on Facebook and TikTok and the longer length ones on YouTube. I have started spending a lot of time on YouTube. I mean, on TikTok. I know that people are saying like, "Oh, the government's trying to shut it down," but I sure hope they don't. So if you're just joining us, this is 10-inch mesh. And I'm cutting this 10-inch mesh in 20-inch pieces. And we're going to take these 20-inch pieces and we're going to ruffle them. And we're going to put a ruffle inside of each of these ties. And that's just going to help build out our base of our wreath. If you're on YouTube or my personal Facebook page and you're commenting and I'm not responding, come over here to my business Facebook page, The Crafty Tech Guy. That way I can respond to any of your comments or questions. All right, perfect. I already know I have another roll of that, so I'm not worried about actually keeping that. So let's bring our wreath over. I'll lay this down. And then go straight up the middle. Ruffle, 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 ruffle. I wish I could do this as fast as Coach Tammy, but I'm just not there yet. All right, we're going to come in here to the top. Put this ruffle in. And then I like to marry the two ends so that the ruffle, you can see the whole ruffle. check and make sure. I'm not seeing any more comments. I'll refresh my laptop because I think I'm missing comments. There we go. Came in at the end of when you put the mesh on the wreath form. Okay, so this wreath form, Laurie, actually came from White Bayou, and it came like that. So these are actually balls that came on the tines of the wreath. So you can get this from White Bayou. You can go to shoplikejohn.com and click on White Bayou. So we're just ruffling up this 10-inch mesh cut at 20 inches. So we're just going to put one of these ruffles inside of every tine. Oh, do you? Well, I wanted some more purple because there's so much gold in the mask. So, but yeah, you could totally use it with just the 21-inch. Although there are some areas like here in the center where these ruffles are going to help. You can actually still see the wire frame. So this is just going to come in and help cover up more of that wire frame. Because that's kind of what our base is supposed to do, is help cover up that wire frame and give us structure for adding all the fun stuff. Okay, Venmo, or what is that? Lenovo. My laptop's talking to me. Also, made sure before I came live tonight to Make sure the iPad had all of its updates. The laptop had all of its updates. The Amiibos had all their updates. Aw, thanks, Cheryl. I mean, I don't sell locally, so I don't know if people put Mardi Gras wreaths on their doors or not. All of my sales are on Etsy. So, but I sold Mardi Gras wreaths last year on Etsy. So, plus, I mean, last year was or this year, and I say last year, that would be this past February, this is my first year making wreaths, and I just enjoyed the colors, and it was fun to make them. I'm not putting a sign on because this is going to go right in the center, but yeah, it's a big mask. It's like 23 inches. So, yeah. Cheryl, are you in any kind of business coaching that can help you get your Etsy shop going? I love the colors too. And the first custom wreaths I made were for someone wanting Mardi Gras wreaths. So that's really what got prompted me into making Mardi Gras wreaths. It'll go in an 8-inch box because even my so this is going to be about 9 inches thick, but it'll go in an 8-inch thick box. Because my big wreaths that I make that actually are thicker than this fit in an 8-inch box. Yeah, when I was going live tonight, Darren was like, "Yay, another wreath to box up." he's my new wreath boxer. We just boxed up over this weekend 40 something wreaths. Cheryl, girl, get on that cha-ching blueprint. You can do this. But I totally understand I had a lot of trepidation in opening that Etsy shop in January. It feels daunting. I get it. But you've got plenty of, support, all of us in coaching, all of us out here in the going live world. You got this. Good, Cheryl. We're all spending that money. Got to put it to use. Oh, that's awesome, Cheryl. I use my Facebook page to drive traffic, I guess, to my Etsy store. I don't think I sell a lot from. I mean, people don't contact me directly from my Facebook page to buy something. On my other, when I had my JNRL Creations page, before I merged it into this one, I had a Facebook shop, but it didn't do diddly squat. So after Damon's live this morning in business coaching, I applied for setting up a Amazon shop, and y'all, they call you. Like, I submitted my information, and this guy called me on the computer through the Amazon page, and I had to physically show him the documents that they were asking for. So at least I know they're working really hard to crack down on scammers, because and you had to get through that live verification process to then get to the next step. So I should know something in the next 72 hours as to whether or not I get approved. So, plus in my tech business, the more I can get involved in that kind of stuff and understand it, the better I am to help you all. So I had my first big client in my tech business a couple of weeks ago. I've got some people in the pipeline that hopefully are going to be ready in January for me to help them. So first, Aleeks, you have to apply for regular Amazon. And then once you get approved for regular Amazon, then you can apply to Amazon Handmade to get that fee waived. At least that's my understanding, because I couldn't find a direct application for Amazon Handmade that did not go through the basic Amazon storefront application process through the associate store. Thanks, Cheryl. So if you're not used to working with mesh, even the good mesh frays sometimes. So you just go in with some scissors and snip off that fray, then hide that fray part underneath. What's something that everyone's asked for Christmas? I have asked for one of those massage guns. I'm either going to love it or it's going to drive my fibromyalgia nuts and I'm not going to like it. But if I don't like it, I can give it to Darren. He can use it. Or I can use it on Larry. For it to be over? What? No. So Carolyn, Damon is our business coach at Deco Exchange. And they sold They sold like 16 or 1700 items this year. And of those 16 to 1700 items, they had 20 returns. So, sorry, y'all. I had to get rid of that hangnail. I hope that didn't gross you out. So, I figure if he can sell, 16, 1700 items, only have 20 returns for the, let's say, 50 or 60 items that I may or may not sell, if, one or two of them are returned or something, I mean, it's like anything else. I'm going to try it. If it don't work out, I'll just pull everything off of there. You've just got to when you're doing a business, because y'all, before we moved here to Louisville, I had a brick and mortar business, a skincare center in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So, I mean, obviously people can't. Well, I mean, they could get a service from me and not be happy about it or something and want a refund. So there's a refund there, or they could buy retail products that they didn't like or maybe had a reaction to that for whatever reason, and they'd bring them back and return them. So when you're in a situation to where it's the potential to have returns, you just have to keep more of that cash float in your checking account. You've got to have that cash. So some people have a business and they're in the mindset that, oh, as soon as they get that money, they're spending it like it's their money. It's not your money unless you're paying yourself out of the business. If you're writing a payroll check out of your business to you, then it's your money. When the revenue comes into the business, that's the business's money. It's not yours yet. You think it's yours, but it's not. So that money just has to sit in that account, or enough cash has to sit in your account to be able to take care of the refunds as they come in. And I say that in the sense that with the way Damon explained it with refunds come out of future revenue or future sales. But let's say you don't have future sales and there still has to be a refund given. Well, then Amazon at some point is going to take that money out of your checking account if there aren't future sales to cover that return. Write you a note to rob a bank. Did I say something crazy? I don't remember. What did I say? Did I say something about robbing the bank? Y'all, sometimes I don't remember what comes out of my brain. So you just have to think about all of those kind of things. Oh, for that cash flow. Yes, cash flow. People do not understand that revenue and sales and all that is very different than cash flow. Like if you have business insurance due in 6 months, you better be putting some money aside every month to pay that insurance bill in 6 months. Because there ain't no guarantee that the month that bill is due, you're going to have any sales. So you also, like for my brick and mortar skincare center that I had a business coach, Larry Curtis, through that whole process. And I would meet with him once a week, every Thursday. And I would have to, I had a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan. I had all my monthly metrics, and we would go over that every week. Like, how many facials did I want to sell this week? How many chemical peels? How many of this? How many of that? Y'all, I wasn't even scheduled to take a paycheck out of that business for cash flow purposes in terms of revenue building. I wasn't due my first paycheck until December of the 3rd year. That's how cash flow works. It takes a long time for a business to develop enough cash flow to cover all of its expenses and give you a paycheck. At least a business like a brick and mortar business. Because your expenses in a brick and mortar business are a lot more. You've got rent. You've got electric, water, gas, phone, internet, insurance, taxes. Now, you typically start a brick and mortar business, hopefully with a lot of capital. Like, it cost us about 50 grand to start that skincare center. I mean, just to be able to get my retail products that I used, the opening account for a pharmaceutical skincare line was $6,000 to open the account. And I had 3 lines. You know, we went into it having to put down 3 months. It was my first time being in a brick and mortar business. I didn't have business rental history. So I had to put down 3 months rent starting out. All those deposits that you pay when you're new to water and gas and electric, well, those don't carry over to business accounts. So I had to pay all of those deposits, except the deposits when you're a business, they rake you over the coals for a lot more money than they do for residential deposits. So all of that takes money. But I had a good business model. I had a good business coach. And except for like 1 month, I was profitable month over month. Just want to make sure y'all aren't commenting and I can't see it. I'm not sure this laptop is giving me up-to-date comments. Ooh, come here, John. Where's that? So I don't know if you noticed, I started doing the ruffles on the top versus the bottom because when you're cutting mesh, your looser pieces of mesh are at the beginning of the roll, and the tighter pieces of mesh are at the end of the roll. And I wanted the tighter, smaller ruffles on top and the bigger ruffles on the bottom. So see, now we've got a really nice, thick base ready for whatever we want to put on it. We could be putting a sign, bows, ribbon, embellishments, all of those things. But we're going to put a mask on. I'm going to stand up so that I get good positioning of that mask. And actually, I need to come over and get some pipe cleaners. not coming back, y'all. I wanted to get these long 20-inch black sparkly pipe cleaners. All right. Just gonna run this through. Y'all went quiet on me. If anyone's still here, throw me some hearts or give me a comment, because I'm not seeing anything. Oh, there's some hearts. All right. Good. Just making sure I didn't scare y'all off with talking about business expenses. It's that way for all of us, Bonnie. The comments end up shadowing out. It's so frustrating. I mean, I understand why Facebook's doing it, because it takes up a lot of server bandwidth to have those comments displayed for every single billions of people that are on Facebook. So they save bandwidth by graying them out, but it's still frustrating. It doesn't, Carolyn. I super glued and hot glued cable mounts into 3 different places. So now I'm just taking these pipe cleaners, All right, I like that. I'm gonna snip these off, actually. All right, so now let's add some ribbon tails. I think I'm going to use that. I think this has got enough sparkle on it. Maybe we'll do some funky. Maybe we'll do funky bows and ribbon tails. So that means I need 18 of these. So I'm just using my 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so this is a 12-inch. I'm not doing 12-inch tails. This is a 12 inches because I want 24-inch funky bows and I want 9 of them. So I counted 18 times, and I'm just going to cut these in half once. And that'll give me 9 24-inch funky bows. All right, now we're going to do funky tails. And I'm going to do my tails at 13 inches. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These will cut on both ends. So we have 18 ties. 9 will get a funky bow, and 9 will get tails. Have y'all started making Valentine's yet? I've got stuff to make Valentine's too. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. 9, John. Stop at 9. All right, let's cut some dovetails. Yeah, since I was working so hard on getting the tech business going, I didn't get much Christmas done at all. But like Darren says, it'll keep till next year. That's just less I have to buy next year. Y'all, I've bought so much wreath supplies this year. I shouldn't have to buy much of any wreath supplies that's coming up here. So that's good, right? Oops. Missed one. But that's kind of how I've been buying based upon, not having any wreath supplies. So, and I've been trying not to buy like trendy stuff. Like, to me, boho, other than the boho stuff we got in the supply boxes, I didn't buy any of that boho stuff. There are plenty of people out there that'll make the boho. Not my thing. So, I think it'll come in and go out fast. As long as I stay off Deco Exchange's live sales, I do pretty good. With this live sale they just had Friday, thank God Damon sent us that discount, because I placed 2 different orders. That's what I did last year, so didn't purchase much this year. Of course, now about out. Yeah, I couldn't see that. I've stayed out of all the craft stores for all of these holiday discounts. I see everybody going and getting all these evergreen bases for dollars and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, well, you know what? That's all right. There'll be some next year. All you got to do is wait for a week after Hobby Lobby puts it out. It'll go 40% off. So, but now I'm spending money. So this printer, I bought this new printer that's going to do stickers and logos and banners and signs and HTV transfers and all that kind of stuff. I've already got people messaging me interested in me doing stuff for them. So that was my big purchase. That printer alone, $7,000. And then I bought supplies and stuff to go with it. So, I'm just spending money in different ways. I'm still spending money. You spent ribbon money on a laser. If I had a way that didn't require it being in the garage to vent a laser, we would already have a laser. But we don't have egress windows in this basement. We have the thin metal windows that we have like almost sealed off because they're old. They need to be replaced, and we've tried to have them replaced, and we paid a company to have them replaced, and that company ended up giving us all of our money back because they just could not get the windows in. And we haven't tried again because it's just been so frustrating trying to get any kind of home improvement stuff done right now. So if we were able to get the egress windows, then I would have a way to vent it. Right? Yeah. I mean, it was a great company. They did our roof, they did our gutters, and they were going to replace all the windows down here and put in 2 egress windows. But yeah, they refunded us our money. And we've had that with a couple of other places that just they're like, they don't want to take, they take your money, but then they can't get the materials in. So now I'm just putting the funky tails on, or funky bows and ribbon tails on. So we're doing funky bows and ribbon tails instead of a big bow. I made that executive decision, as Tammy likes to say, because I just really didn't, I don't know. I want the mask to be the focal point of the wreath. And everything else just kind of embellishments and accent the mask itself. I didn't want a big bow detracting from the mask, because the mask is pretty expensive. But with that 35% coupon, it made it more reasonable. Do any of y'all host Christmas? And we host Christmas. Darren's mom will be here, and it'll be the four of us for Christmas. All right, top row done. Now we do the bottom row. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, unfortunately, Larry, my father-in-law, who we take care of, we can't travel with him, so I miss out on going to my family. I went to my family for Thanksgiving and Christmas 2019 and 2020. That was 2019 was the last year we had my dad for those holidays. And then I went back the year after the year next year just because it was the first year without dad. And I wanted to be there for my mom. But last year I was here, and this year I'll be here. But it would be nice if we could travel, and Darren hasn't had a holiday with my family in 9 years. We haven't had a holiday with my family together in 9 years either. So one of those balls came off. This is so pretty. So I'm just putting the ribbon tails and the funky bows on here at the bottom. So it's kind of hard to see this part from y'all's vantage point. And like when I do my ribbon tails on the top, I fan them out in an X. But when I do my ribbon tails on the bottom, I fan them in a V and just kind of separate them out like a fan. That way those ribbon tails are all pointing around the edge. Because this is either going to be placed, you know, on a wall or a door. So it's going to fan out all around the edge and just be really pretty. Y'all, if I missed any of your comments, I always go back and look over comments and reply to anything. One more funky bow. One more set of tails. And you know, I think I'm going to hold off on the tubing and those other embellishments. It's pretty festive and active as it is. Especially with the balls on the edge of the tines. I don't think it needs any more balls. Ooh, cookie baking. So I'm pretty happy with it as is. Is that not gorgeous? Woo! I love it. Woo! Glitter Central. It looks awesome. All right, so I told y'all I would show you some of the stuff I used to make. Well, I mean, I would still make it, but this was back when I had half the living room. as my craft space upstairs, plus everything down here. So, these are silkscreen t-shirts. So like here's one. It says, "Not only did I fall off the wagon, I dragged it into the woods, set it on fire, and used the insurance money to buy cupcakes." And this one's cute. It says, "Whatever, I'm still fabulous." And these are just some of them, y'all. I have boxes of these things. There's a Halloween one. Pick your own pumpkin. And let's see. Dream bigger. This is one of my favorites. It's coffee o'clock, y'all. Coffee o'clock. So this is the kind of stuff I used to have in my booths. What's this one? That's a horrible idea. What time? That's a horrible idea. What time? And I didn't sell these for a lot. Like these shirts are $15. Let's see, the Dream Bigger. The Dream Bigger is a size medium. $15. So, not crazy. Here's one of my door hangers. And some pendant banners. These are Halloween themed. Little pom-pom on the end. Some fall garlands. Here's a sign and pedestal. It says, "This is Halloween. Something wicked this way comes." You haven't listed on Etsy. I need to get all of this stuff listed on Etsy. Part of it is, when I close the booths, I just boxed everything up and I just boxed everything up and kind of forgot about it because this was 3 years of a lot of making, a lot of working, a lot of doing, and I just could not get any traction. I don't know. So I ended, when I met Deco Exchange folks and this wreathing community and this part of the crafting community, I was like at I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. For whatever reason, people don't like my design aesthetic. Things just were not selling. We had paid out a lot of money. So here's some gnomes that I made. So these happen to be kind of fall Halloween-y, but they stand up. So I call all of this stuff table sitters. So a lot of table sitters. There's another kind of wizard one. So I don't, maybe, I mean, and it could have been that I was just in the wrong places. There's some pumpkins. Some smaller pumpkins. I did not make wreaths. Oh, this is a... I mean, you know, like, I think all this stuff is cute, but I guess people around here did not. But like when I left the places that I had my stuff, you know, the owners of those places, you know, said that other people who were selling similar stuff, you know, their stuff wasn't selling either. So that made me feel a little bit better. That's a block set. And again, all this stuff will sit up. And so like this whole block set for all 3 pieces, $20. I don't think that's a bad price for that. What is this? Oh, these go in little. So these have a little wooden base, and they fit in that little slot, and they just kind of sit up like that. And then like stuff like this, little box frames. You know, $10 for these box frames. And so people who craft could actually still turn it over and do something on the back with them. I left the back blank. So I guess this box that I grabbed just to show y'all tonight is mostly Halloween. But got fall, Halloween. I should, Bonnie. I just haven't. It's been kind of like out of sight, out of mind, out of bad memories, because this kind of, you know, it's a reminder of when things were not successful, and this year has been very successful. So I haven't wanted to drag out these bad memories. All right, y'all, I'm gonna pop off here and go get something to eat because my family ate. And thank you so much, Bonnie. That makes me feel really good. People would say that, and I would even like kind of snoop around the stores and kind of listen to people going into my booth and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, people liked my stuff, but then I would hear like, oh, it's so expensive. I'm like, so expensive? My goodness gracious. No more bad memories in this house. Absolutely. Well, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad you were here. And I really enjoy getting back in and making something for y'all. And I'll get this pictures of it and get it listed on Etsy because that's my next thing. I got to get all these wreaths that we finally got pictures of and boxed up and get them on Etsy because it can't sell if it's not on Etsy. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful night. And until next time,